Hello, are you looking for a great desert tree for your landscape? That's what this video is about. We're gonna recommend 4 low maintenance desert trees for our Arizona desert climate. My name is Eli Hall with AMS Landscaping out of Phoenix in Arizona. And just so you know, trees here in our climate, if you're not from here, they've gotta be really rugged. They've gotta be tough to be able to survive our extreme heat and our extreme cold in the wintertime. They gotta be able to handle our awful soil that is just really not with a lot of nutrients that you would see maybe in the Midwest or in the Northeast or even in the Northwest. So you want to make sure you find something that's more adaptable to our climate that will really handle the hardiness of our cold winters as well, and hopefully not too messy. So the first tree I'm going to recommend is the Ironwood Tree. It's very indigenous to the Sonoran Desert. It can tolerate long periods of drought. In the wintertime, it can lose some of its leaves, but it's a real hardy tree even in the wintertime. They get at maturity to be about 25 feet in height. If you don't water them at all, they really can once they're established, they can really survive on their own. They don't get quite as large, but they do have thorns. And they do got a really pretty small little purple flower that I think is pretty cool. The second tree I like to recommend, a little bit harder on the water situation. It's a Bisha tree, and Thevetias, they get to be, 15, 20 feet in height. I see them all the time in landscapes between 6 and 12 feet in height. They can be trimmed like a bush or made into a tree. They have like a really slender, bright green leaf and like a tubular yellow flower that's really pretty, and they're really hardy for our desert climates here. They're also known as yellow oleander, and if you know anything about oleander, they're just really hardy plant, and these Thevetias are actually just about the same. The next tree is the Shamel Ash Tree. Now, this is my favorite tree. They are deciduous, meaning they will lose their leaves, but I have probably 8 on my property, and I have some that'll lose their leaves and some that won't. They don't really shed throughout the year, which is really great. So if they do lose their leaves, it's usually just, for a month or two in the winter months. They do really well in desert climates, but they do really flourish in turf areas or near turf areas, or if they get a lot of heavy water. They can get up to about 50 feet in maturity. They grow really fast up to 25 feet within the first 10 years. If they aren't watered as heavily, they will still survive and thrive here in our desert climate. They just don't get as thick and full. They do get prone to sunburn on their trunks. So you want to protect their trunk in the beginning stages of life. A live oak tree is my last tree that I really love. These trees, they don't shed too much. They go really slow, but they're actually a tree that I recommend more closer to pools because they aren't as messy. They have a dense dark green leaf, a dark green canopy, just because it really fills in nicely. They have like a real rugged texture on their trunk, but they are hardier. They have a hardier trunk so that they do resist the sun scalding a little better. All these trees do really well in full sun, this one especially, but the height of these at maturity can be up to 40 feet in height, but they do grow really slow. I'm actually gonna talk about a 5th tree. It's not really a tree, it's more succulent, but the reason I bring up the Ocotillo is because many HOAs will allow you to use an Ocotillo to replace your tree. So if you are tired of dealing with trees, the maintenance of trees, or just you don't even want to deal with any type of tree, you want 0 maintenance, 0 water, maybe you don't have any water in your landscape and you just want to plant something that can survive, Ocotillo is your plant. Just make sure you check with your HOA. A lot of times they'll allow an Ocotillo to replace a tree. These things get really big. They require 0. I don't hook them up to the water at all. They can get up to 20 feet at maturity. They got these crazy, they're just these long slender stick things that shoot up, and I'll be sure to add some images here on the video of all these trees, all these species, and they'll have a orange bloom at the tip. They attract hummingbirds. They're just really cool plant. Like I said, 0 maintenance. There's 0, you do not trim them, you do not water them, and that's what makes them so great. I hope this video was helpful. If you have any other questions, please feel free to contact us here at azlawns.com. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and Facebook page at AMS Landscaping, and check us out on Twitter and Instagram at AZ Lawns. Make it a great day.